All right, listeners, welcome back to another exciting bonus episode of The World is My Burrito. You've been listening so far for quite a few episodes. We've covered a lot of content, and tonight is the night that we finally cover the final episode of Survivor. Bob watched it live, so not quite.
Never seen it.
Coming to you late tonight.
Coming
Survivor had to come
late.
first.
Post-Survivor. He managed to squeeze both things in.
There was no kaiju in the episode.
You know, that sounds a lot like Monarch Legacy of Monsters Season 2.
Correct. Actually, I should say there was more kaiju in Survivor than there was in Monarch Legacy of Monsters.
The real kaiju were the enemies we made along the way.
That's right.
Okay. So, yeah, we are covering the final episode of Monarch Legacy of Monsters Season 2. Oh, did I mistitle it? I have it in here as Ends of the Earth, but I don't think that's right.
Where we belong.
Where We Belong. Thank you. God,
You're welcome.
Long title. They're getting longer and longer.
3 whole words, Corey.
But they're big words.
Good for them.
Like $5 words over here.
I can't afford that.
Yeah, as always, I am joined by my right-hand man, old Titan fodder Zach. Zach, how you doing?
I'm good. Looking forward to wrap up season 2, which we'll get into.
Yeah, I think we all are. And the one person who was most excited for this season is Bob.
I'm here. I'm back. Our long national nightmare is over. And son of a bitch, we made it.
We made it. There it is.
Oh, man. Yeah, so we did it. It's been a lot of fun recording this. But 10, we finally made it, and I have more questions and fewer knowledge of where we're going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of questions. And one answer. I know where season 3's going. But that's about it.
Season 3 could be going into the past and also into the future now that the past is... Oh, God, yeah, I can't wait to get into that. That's the one logic thing I'm really mad at. So, episode 10, we do get a lot more kaiju stuff. We get some kind of fighting between Kong and Titan X. Kate finally uses the powers that honestly, it seems like you keep forgetting that she had until it was necessary.
She had her ET moment.
She did.
She booped it on the nose and it followed her.
Yeah, just like a good pet would. All right, well, Bob, you missed out last time, so I
wouldn't
let
say
you...
I missed out.
He still watched the episode.
I think lucked out is the word you're looking for there.
Lucked out. So what? Yeah, because we didn't get to hear your opinions on 8 and 9, and you don't have to give a huge thing. But how do you feel about the final 3 episodes? Like how it leads into 10.
Don't love it. I'm even trying to rack my brain to remember those episodes. I remember an egg. The egg in those episodes. I remember
There was. The scarabs made the nest.
Yeah.
That's what
I don't
they did.
remember if this was in the last episode I was in or not. Kate goes down a well and then pops up above the well.
That was a while ago.
That was a while ago.
Yeah, it was.
I can't even keep it all straight anymore. But what I do remember and do recall is that it was just a lot of characters, a lot of setup, a lot of Isabel Simmons, that person we all are very familiar with because she's the father's brother's cousin's nephew of some person from a movie.
Yeah.
But
They did have to remind us of that in this episode as well. It
Yes.
feels like the second episode where they're like, in case you forgot, this is who she is. It's like,
Yeah.
if you have to keep reminding people who someone is, you probably did a terrible job setting them up.
there was Godzilla in the episodes that I was not here to talk to you about, though. So
Yeah.
that was a plus. Not enough Godzilla, but some Godzilla.
There was. Very limited Godzilla.
Yeah.
It's like, I guess he had his version
I guess
of
a plus
telling-
for that.
Yeah. You have to see what it was like. Okay, I think Brenda's home. Hold on a sec. Oh, actually, I should be marking it, not muting myself. It doesn't matter. Okay. She brought her out. Okay, so, yeah, with the Godzilla bit, we get a little bit. There's a tiny fight, and it's basically at the beginning of episode 9 is we learn how Godzilla tells another kaiju to just fuck off and go back home or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, and then we reach this, and it is more... Some of this, I think the most consistent notes are... once again, these absolutely confounding relationships that people have, and so many things that genuinely feel like I don't think, people who wrote some lines were in the room when they were talking about some other lines, because it seems like characters just forget stuff from scene to scene.
And like we talked about, I think a lot of times they probably shot it out of order because somebody would change their entire dynamic and just being mentally, and then just be completely different. That happened with Shaw multiple times. It's happened with multiple characters that they went from a high intensity or emotional scene to flat, like baseline, with no reaction.
Yeah, I think it was in order for them to hit the marks, what limited marks they had, but to hit the marks that they were hoping to hit for the season, for these episodes, like it was almost a necessity for these characters to just forget their motivations or change their motivations on a dime to serve the episode, versus them really telling a well-planned or thought-out like long-term story over 10 episodes. It was like we were all over the place with a million different stories, and here we are in 10 with I don't understand who's doing what for what reason anymore. It's just like, okay. So, but it was like a necessity for the show because they just had no plan, I don't think. But maybe that's just me being crazy.
It'll all come together in 3, Bob.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I mean, who knows? I don't know. It's kind of tough because you've got a lot of people are defending season 2 and saying how it was a vast improvement over season 1, which that if the showrunners take that and go, oh, people want more of this, then season 3 would be more of this and less of the good parts that we were getting in season 1, which most of it was the past, and really just exploring and seeing the birth of Monarch and what it does. But maybe in season 3, with how this ends, we'll get back to basics. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. At least from what I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but what they set up, the one nugget of what's carrying over into the next season with Kentaro, right? It's just like, I have zero interest in that. That's not monsters. Like, what is that about? How is that monsters? It doesn't even feel like it's about Monarch necessarily, but whatever.
I'll just say I think Kentaro's arc is one of my least favorite parts.
Yes.
For me. Something happened with his character this season, and they just said, kick the snow globe and have him do something completely different. And then do it again and do it a third time. And by the third time, I don't really care about where his character is going and what because his entire motivation and what they're going to try to do makes absolutely no sense. But we can get to that by the end of the episode.
I mean, we said that earlier in our season of talking about this too, is like there's this whole section of characters that had no purpose, right? I guess they finally wove Kate back into the whole, I'll be right here. I'm ET and you're ET and I'm Elliot. Like, I'm gonna connect with the kaiju, but like, my God, like he had no point, and they brought in Isabel Simmons to take care of that. But whatever.
Yeah, the ignore the heavenly light. It's apparently unreliable. It's very old. Yeah, Kentaro, I think, is, man, it's really hard to pick who the worst character is. Um, I feel like it's like, how do you describe their badness? Because Kentaro, I think, is arguably the worst character in that I don't know, don't know why he did the change that Zach was just talking about. There's just like a change. I get that it's after his father's death, but then he just turns into an absolute like idiot. But he also still seems really smart when he needs to be smart. But it's like, okay, well, we need we need Titan X to kill Kong to stop G-Day, and that failed. Okay, well, now we need Rodan to fight Kong to stop G-Day. That'll be some, like, if we talk about season 3 expectations, but it's like Kentaro just seems like an absolute fucking idiot at this point. May, they really completely lost on what to do with May.
That was going to be my vote for actually worst character above Kentaro. It was like, what did they do with May? Like, what is happening with May? But
She actually didn't really do anything this episode other than be
nothing.
there. Like, I really thought that it would be set up and that our Monarch people would come in and somehow save the day, which they did by standing in the way and not actually doing anything, I guess, but it was well on the way for the entire event to fall apart with the control modules and everything. Like, it was well on its way to a cascading effect of failure. And really it was just more of motherly instinct won over everything. But even May sat there and went, I can't do anything. There's too many pop-ups. You got bad malware here.
Oh my gosh, it's locking up again just like it did before. It's doing it again. Blah, blah, blah. Like, chill, first of all, right? When did you lose any sort of chill with technology? Come on. But I thought she would have been more believable to say, fuck all you all. I'm going to go with this bitch Isabel and do her thing. Like, she seems like more of the character that would be enticed by, like, a third option sort of thing versus Kentaro. Like, it would have been more interesting to see her go off and become more of a rogue, almost villain to to everyone, to the whole scenario by doing that. Because she's been so back and forth and in the middle the whole time and very self-motivated for her own interests throughout the whole season. Kentaro's never been that way, and they kind of shoehorned that in with the death of his father. But like, it just would have been more interesting to have her go off and do something crazy like that. But whatever. Again, I keep saying that. Whatever. Like, I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, I think they already did that so many times. Not that Kentaro was the better option to do that, but we already did that once with her, and then when faced with the option to be evil or bad, she chose not to, and was also kind of taking a stand back of, no, this is bad, we can't do this, this is
true.
too far. So then it would not that it would have made more sense, but the Kentaro thing doesn't make sense. Having May do that, I don't think would have made sense. I don't think you needed either of them to go and do it. You could have Isabel just be that third party shadow that's there lurking, trying to undermine Monarch by taking a Titan and getting back to Axis Monday for whatever reason. Not to save Kentaro's dad, but whatever it is that she wants to do.
So I kind of agree. Like, I like Zach's idea of Isabel just being this constant shadow character.
Yeah.
It would have been cool to see, I can't remember the actor's name, but the Kiwi guy, if he had lived and kind of kept popping up every now and then, Isabel could be the big bad hiding, and then he would be almost like this Carmen Sandiego person just constantly appearing around Monarch.
Yeah.
But I agree with Bob that, because Isabel is kind of the next Holland. Where she's someone who's kind of using Korra's tech, and so Korra would be, I do kind of agree that would be expected, where it's like she keeps flipping and flopping with everyone, and she's always mad at everyone except in this episode. And but it does make sense because that would be very much like going back to Apex, because it's kind of Apex, but it is the core version of Apex where it's like, oh no, it's, you know, Apex Underground, and she would be the same person she was in season 1, where she once again has to disappear from everyone, you know, and go into hiding. And it's like, yeah, we would have a loop. It would be a very logical character development or conclusion, because she's already done this.
And I would have been fine with that had they not had her have that line in the sand of, well, I'm not going to do this because this is bad. If she was thinking about it and being like, oh, maybe I will. Oh, shit, Monarch's here? Oh, I guess I'll go with them. That would have been much better. Don't make her so squeaky clean if that's the case. Have her be more of a gray area, not good, not necessarily evil, but she's not always going to side with our friends in Monarch. She's going to
moral ambiguity.
There you go. That would have been great.
Yep.
But we're not writing the episodes.
No, unfortunately not. The third graders are.
Hey, they're like maybe fourth or fifth.
Maybe,
You know.
advanced third graders. They're in the special groups. So
I do also like that they had to remind us that Kate is a teacher.
yes,
Because when she's doing
class
the
is in
screw thing,
session.
pay attention, class.
Yeah.
And then she murders Clippy.
Poor Clippy.
she becomes MacGyver. She's setting steel wool on fire. And like doing all sorts of
keeps up
MacGyver
the
shit.
screw.
Love for that to have made any sense. It's like, so she's psychic. She's the kaiju psychic MacGyver, who's like extremely emotionally volatile, especially
suffering
where there's alcohol involved.
PTSD, yep.
Yeah.
She's really good at outrunning tentacles, though.
She is.
She knows how to avoid a tentacle slapping down.
Fair amount of experience with that, I guess.
Yeah, because not Violante almost got her a couple different times.
Couple times.
That's one of those where it's like, okay, I'll let this go. She would have been dead. I know she would have been dead. I'll just let this slide for the fun
Well,
of
yeah.
it.
There was that, and plus the one where she and Kay were running to that bunker. I'm like, are you not to the bunker yet? That bunker was not that far. We're still running. Cut to the kaiju. Cut back to them. They're still running. I'm like, oh my god, get to the bunker.
Corey, I don't know if this bothers you. This always bothers me, but since you also ride a motorcycle, whenever I see anybody in a vehicle that's open, going fast with dirt and shit flying around, and they don't have goggles, glasses, or a helmet or anything, I always stare at that and go, you would not be able to see and you'd be dead, because you would have so much shit in your eye. You can't see. You're driving too fast. The wind's in your eyes. You're squinting. Going, I can't see anything. No, fuck you. You're dead. Just that pulls me out of it. I know it's for action and shit, but try to pretend, because you're putting all the dirt and the shit flying around everywhere, and Keiko's just wide-eyed going, where's Kate? Where is she? Is she gonna be any? There's a dust storm. I can't see her, but oh, my eyes are fine.
Just peering through the dust. Like,
I'm looking with my special eyes.
give her some aviators. Come on. She's been going. They're in like broad sunlight in the Pacific Ocean somewhere. Like, she should be wearing
Nobody's putting
sunglasses.
sunscreen on.
No,
They're gonna
no one's
they're
putting
gonna have
sunglasses on.
checked when they get back.
But their lipstick is always fire.
This mole get bigger since Skull Island? Oh no.
The last time I was in Skull Island.
My mole turned into a scarab.
Some of the relationships, well, all of the relationships, man. Okay, so I will say the first thing, I mean, the episode really started by pissing me off. Because it's the interaction between Keiko and Lee Shaw. And she's crying and she says, I actually believed Billy abandoned Hiroshi. And I'm like, he literally did.
I mean, he still
Like,
did.
it doesn't matter if he's doing it for the betterment of the family. He literally abandoned his own child for like decades. because he was trying to, I'm going to abandon him to bring everyone back together. And it's like that. If you acknowledge the fact that that is a terrible decision, then like it's cool. But to try to justify that it's like, no, he actually was a really good guy. It's like he literally took a professorial job while Hiroshi was like being raised by someone else. It's like kind of a piece of shit.
I mean, he didn't abandon. He just ignored him for 2 decades. That's not as bad, right? Right? He still sending birthday cards or something.
Probably had a 20 in it.
Yeah. Hey, champ. Hope you're having a great day.
Here's your Jelly of the Month club.
Go get yourself an ice cream sandwich.
Oh, man. Yeah, so there's still a ton of great lines. Bob, obviously, I thought of you when they were talking about controlling the kaiju, and the guy's like, I can give it another 5%.
Yes, 100%. It's always that 5% more. It's always that 5%.
We're almost at the threshold. Almost?
Do it.
Dude, go ahead.
Okay,
it's where it
Isabel
broke
Simmons.
before. But we're not there yet. Huh?
Can't you give it any more power? Yeah, 5%. Okay, do it.
That totally makes a difference.
Just that easy.
Go.
Maybe don't tell people that you
Well,
can
it
do
was
5.
the 5% that really
really
fucked up
was.
May when she was at the computer. It's overloaded. It was because of the 5%.
It's on a feedback loop, and it's like, if you stop the thing that's emitting the feedback loop, then like you need 2 points to loop. So if you get rid of 1 point,
It
then
was
what?
it was all for naught though, because the instincts of the kaiju just broke the bond.
so
Corey.
bad.
Corey, that's not how it works.
Instincts of the cow. Her instincts have saved the day. Ugh.
They're more powerful than technology.
You were there. It literally short-circuited. You were party to this.
But motherly instinct caused a short circuit, Corey. It's why.
Yeah. Not that extra 5% that they set up would.
The feedback loop was
not the
severed.
feedback loop.
Yeah.
And
you
and
can't
also
unplug. They said
immediately
they couldn't.
Yeah. And also immediately Kong recognized that, got up on his perch and said, respect. You go do your thing.
You
They
go,
did
girl.
We're not fighting anymore.
Yeah.
He believes in strong, independent women.
Oh, look at that
She's
tentacle
just
creature.
a single mom trying to make it on her own, and he understands.
That tentacle monster found a testicle. I guess I'll go sit over. Oh wait, it's an egg. Oh, my bad. Yeah, sure.
So one of the other most upsetting things about this, we did have, I think it was string theory in separate ways with the episodes where they cover Lee Shaw talking to Lee Shaw because of Dr. Suzuki's device.
Yes.
But that was a very specific instance where some type of quantum portal was opened up. And then this episode posits that I guess all of them are quantum portals. And even though, like, they've told us, they've spent too much time telling us how it works. So this rift at the end when it's Lee talking to Lee, and it's like, oh my god, you're fucking kidding me again. Like, we need less Lee in this show, maybe. But that would have been minutes from when he put the tracker on the Titan, because it's only been a couple of days, and if a day in Axis Mundi is approximately a year, we're talking like minutes, if even that long.
I don't know if it'd even be. I don't think it'd be minutes,
Like, it
man.
could be seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like their days later would be like seconds that he managed to get there.
I guess my other question then would be, because of how the rifts work and how you travel through them, why is he able to just walk up to a rift and then stare through the mirage image of himself, whereas each time we see a rift, something comes out of it or something goes into it?
Yeah.
This
walk
kind
on
of
out,
break.
man.
Yeah, this kind of breaks the science that we have seen throughout this series and in a couple movies now at this point. So now it's not dormant, but stable enough that you can just walk over to it and just look through it, unlike every other time where you got sucked into it.
I don't understand either, and maybe I'm mistaken in my memory of this. It was string theory was the episode, right? With the where he spoke to himself. Is that
Yeah.
what we're the one we're talking about, right? Versus what happened now in this most recent episode. Like, he knew in this week's episode, like in the finale, he knew, like, I'm saying goodbye to you. He knew exactly what he was saying, but that didn't seem to be the case back in the episode where he was talking to himself. Like, wouldn't he have known everything he was saying? Like, it was just very confusing, because all of a sudden it's like, oh, you do know everything that you were saying in that moment, but back when you were talking to yourself, it was like you didn't. I don't know. It was just very strange to me. Like,
Corey and
the
I
rules
touched
seem to
on
change.
it, and yeah, it's a little weird where it was. Was this all planned out, and this was what was happening no matter what, or did he actually affect the timeline? And because the tracker just magically appeared at some point, I think he affected the timeline. Because
Maybe.
then, yeah, he just all of a sudden, confessed to Keiko about what it was, but also was playing kind of coy because, yeah, he was going to be the bad guy in that situation, which I understand she's upset, but at the same time, sorry. I get why he didn't, because, yeah, we know what the future is, and I guess I could take the risk and rescue you, but who the hell knows what would happen. But, again, minutes from everything that happened 5 episodes ago, and then he just stares at himself. And I don't understand why he's saying goodbye to himself. He's just going to, it's me. I'm going to continue to live. Oh, that's what I'm going to turn into? Oh, man, I really love myself.
Oh, I look like shit.
I'm
Jesus.
gonna start wearing more suntan lotion. Starts putting on masks like that.
It looks like I
alternative
got lost in
future.
New York. And then LA.
Yeah, so that relationship in particular, since we're on Keiko and Lee, I was extreme. Actually, I guess pretty much all of their interactions this episode I was really mad at, because I didn't like her line about, Billy abandoning Hiroshi. I do think it's dumb that we do the time skip thing looking through Axis Monday. But man, I wrote the note when Lee Shaw, Keiko figures out that Lee Shaw saw her in the past and could have saved her, but didn't. She's like saying, I could have done this and could have done this and could have done this. And Lee Shaw was like, that's a lot of coulds, and turns around and walks off. I was like, I would slap a bitch.
That's a lot of kudos. Yeah.
I'd beat the shit out of him right then and there. It's just no, especially you just don't just drop that line and turn away. It's like, yeah, all she's wanted, sure she loves her grandkids, but it's like, yeah, she wants her son. That's kind of what this whole thing has been about, is that she wants to reconnect with her son, but is forced to connect with these grandchildren that she doesn't know.
And one is a complete dick now and is running off with Isabel Simmons.
True.
She really should have been like, have you seen Kentaro? Like, should have saved me. Could fix that shit right up.
Where's Kentaro? He's not coming. Okay, let's go.
Yeah, check it out. Also,
Bye.
she got to that helicopter so fast. Where
So fast.
was that helicopter?
Everybody gets everywhere very quickly.
Instant
They do.
transmission.
We did bring that up in the last 2 episodes because that was brought up in our Discord. Because, Bob, I think you were the first person to mention that they just have instant transmission. Like, they can just magically cover hundreds of miles. Because, yeah, in 9... I forget where 8 ends, but 9 begins with... or is it 7 to 8? Either way, it's from 7 to 8 is when... Lee Shaw is just driving on an abandoned beach in Australia with nobody around for like hundreds of miles. And it's like, how did we get here? And also, why did you You reached Australia from some coastline, rented a car, drove to a different coastline. Why not just take whatever method of transportation you had to go to the coastline where the kaiju was going to be, and then you're already there? That's too much.
How he got there without any assistant? I mean,
Yeah.
maybe he still has friends, because we do see a former colleague by the end of the episode. So maybe he called in some favors and somebody transported his ass to Australia. I don't know, but
Yeah.
Skull Island by itself again is a letdown, because it is trying to kill you, as we saw in the movie a few times. In a couple places in the show, we've seen that it is very dangerous to be here, and then over the past few episodes, nothing is really there trying to kill you other than two giant kaiju by accident. There's no real little things. We did have the roly-polies go by, but they were running from Kong and paid no heed to Keiko or Shaw. So that's about it. There should be plenty of things trying to kill everybody right now.
Yeah. Bob, how did you feel about, because Skull Island came up a couple of times in my notes. How did you feel about the concept of Skull Island in this episode?
I can't follow.
I don't know if you listened to the episode that we did on like 8 and 9, but my big thing was I hated that somehow Skull Island is like the central point of everything.
Everything.
Yeah, whether it's Axis Mundi or Hollow Earth, and like God forbid season 3 come up with some other form of transportation that will end up being on Skull Island. And, it's never been a problem before. Somehow Kong was able to live by himself, absolutely alone, with nothing else around, despite that being a fucking hub.
It's like the Hellmouth. It's like
the only things that came up were the skull crawlers, and that was the only thing that was really a threat. Anything else that was on the island, Kong just dealt with.
Yeah. So in this, it seems like it's very big, very small, and also episode 9 is the one where Korra talks about how dangerous Skull Island is. And like when they steal the Jeep from those people, if we were to go by the rules of Skull Island before, I'm like, literally just put a bullet in each one of their heads.
Oh, they're dead.
Give them a better life,
Yeah.
a better ending. Don't let them get eaten alive. Like 15 minutes ago, you were attacked by these plant things that were like sucking people into their chests.
Yes.
It's like, just shoot the people. It's like, oh, well, we did them a solid by abandoning literally everyone on the island to fend for themselves, because they did. Like Isabel and Kintaro and the pilot are the only 3 who left.
Yeah.
And so
those
everyone
people are
else is
dead.
abandoned. They are going to die horrible deaths unless the show sees fit to make their path absolutely clear for some reason.
You know what? As long as they don't put on any sunscreen, they should be fine. Because if you put sunscreen on, that attracts the skull crawlers.
But they don't wear sunscreen, we decided. But they wear lipstick.
And they're fine.
They do, yes, yeah.
They don't wear glasses to protect themselves from the sand.
Nope.
And they don't wear sunscreen.
Tim's the only person with glasses, and it's like there's not a single other. And why does it have to be the nerd? It's like,
well, speaking of Tim, could there be a more worthless character in this show right now? Like,
hey, he was on the high school football team.
Worthless character.
He did tackle a guy.
Okay,
and he hurt himself doing it.
I was like, you serve no purpose.
Not anymore. Not this season.
No. Oh, God, they just totally nerfed that guy completely.
He had a lot more to do. Being kind of a, in between Monarch and the kids. But this season, they haven't really done much with him other than make him useless for really the most part, other than yell at a person and then apologize.
Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden know nothing about computers, but that's the story for a different day.
I know. It is so frustrating. you know, because that just goes, like, we've harped on it a lot, and I don't feel like we can harp on it enough because it's ever present. But the fact that, like, the characters are only, they only suit that exact moment, and it's not even the episode. Like, Tim is smart when he's smart, and then he's dumb when he needs to be dumb. He's violent when he needs to be violent. And then it's like 4 episodes later, someone's like, should we have Tim acknowledge that he's now kind of violent and, like, aggressive? And so in, like, episode 9, he apologizes to someone for screaming at them, and it's like, you've been doing this, like, all season long.
Yeah.
I have a question. So, Titan X is on the. It's got its whatever it is, migratory pattern, which
Yes.
they say goes back to Skull Island, right?
The
So
center
every
of the universe.
so every 15 years, does Kong get all pissed off and chase this thing and beat the shit out of it all over Skull Island, or does he just ignore it and miss it every 15 years when she comes back to Skull Island and has to, like, crawl to the middle of the island and use this entry point where she may come out of? We actually don't know. Did they say that that's where she would normally come out of?
I don't think so. Well, because from our understanding,
She
like,
woke
well,
up. She woke up early.
Well, it's part of her pattern, but yeah, you know, I don't know. I don't think that's, like, properly covered. That could have been something great for someone to have mentioned, like, bring up Billy to mention.
Yeah. And also, so she comes up every 15 years, spawns an egg, brings it back to Axis Mundi, sleeps for 2 weeks, and then does it again. Because if it's every 15 years, it's roughly 14 to 15 days down there. That's a very quick reproductive cycle.
Yeah.
But where are the other little Titans?
Where are they? Where are they all throughout Axis Mundi?
There's a lot of them at this point.
They're in daycare.
So
There
I think
weren't
on
any
the Kong thing.
Yeah. Sorry, what did you say?
Sorry, I was gonna say, I think on the Kong thing, if Skull Island is, like, part of the cycle, part of the path, then I could understand that, like, Kong, and this is not explained. This should have been explained. Maybe, you know, a note from Billy or, like, something, where if that is part of the path, then Kong also understands that, all right, she's not here to, like, disrupt anything. She's here as part of, like, her planned route. So, because, like, Godzilla sends her to Skull Island and then leaves her alone, and then Kong fights until she goes normal. So it's like, is the fighting is done because she's going crazy, and Kong is like, I don't know what's going on, but now I need to be defensive because you're nuts. Whereas normally you just kind of do your own thing. So
They did kind of square off in this episode, but also in the first episode when Titan X showed up on Skull Island, Kong lost his shit and chased her.
Yeah, he was very
chased
mad.
her into the ocean and then screamed at Kate and the people in the helicopter. So he was trying.
That's all of what I said.
And he was
Confrontation.
Kong was confrontation. I like that. And he was trying to. He wasn't attacking the humans. In that episode, he was attacking the scarabs. That 1 or 2 or however many came back the first time after they brought everybody back from Axis Mundi.
Mm-hmm.
But we didn't actually see any fucking appear until, you know, Titan X actually came out. So they're a bit loose in how any of this fucking works.
I was going to make the comment that where were the scarabs in episode 10? Like, there's no scarabs anymore? Like,
no,
where is everything?
Their purpose was to build the little box for the egg, and then they all burrowed down into the beach and died.
They're just in Australia.
That's why nobody wants to go to Australia. Is the real life Skull Island, and everyone goes there dies because they get eaten by scarabs.
Well, Australia is pretty wild.
Yep.
You could die out there.
Yeah, don't worry
What
about those
Survivor
dingoes.
season was in Australia?
Season 2.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
The Australian Outback.
It's like,
yes.
dang, that's so early on. Okay, I'm gonna have to go watch that, and then compare it to Monarch Legacy of Monsters.
There'll be more kaiju in Survivor.
The drama might be equal. I don't know. How are the people? Here's a good question. Since you are a huge fan of Survivor, how is the drama? Obviously, you're not there, so you can't see what's happening. You are seeing a
Edited.
catered version. So how is Survivor? Because it's the same thing. They're trying to survive something. They make alliances. They break alliances. You have people who have hidden things that pop up. So, like, how is that more dramatic or less dramatic than, like, season 2 of Monarch Legacy of Monsters?
It's not dramatic at all anymore from a reality dramatic situation
Okay.
that doesn't really exist in Survivor anymore. It is very much game show, more game show than it is like any sort of reality drama type of thing. It's just because it's such a condensed, it's a very condensed time frame, only like 28 days, where they need to send people home every day. Basically, they're just needing to do a challenge and send somebody home. So there's no downtime to get into drama. So I would say it's less dramatic these days. They used to be there for almost 40 days. Ugh.
Oh, man. Yeah, terrible. I can't imagine being in Australia for 40 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That just, I hadn't considered that, but it's like, yeah, this is very dramatic, and it's the same thing. It's people, abandoning people, building alliances, crushing alliances.
I guess
people.
in that regard, the fact that they are turning on one another and the one alliance this week could be a different alliance the next week, 100% like Survivor. You could be playing with your enemy next week.
We just don't get to vote anyone off in Monarch.
Yes, unfortunately.
Young Lee Shaw, please.
Well, I mean, we did vote a
Kintaro.
few people. That woman at the beginning, that in the first episode, that just totally got obliterated unceremoniously. That guy on the beach with the egg. I think he was.
Yeah.
I think he was killed. I'm
Unceremoniously.
pretty sure.
He looks slightly vaporized.
He got toasted. It was a toaster strudel after that.
We vote some people off every once in a while. Kintaro's dad.
Yeah.
So, speaking of Kintaro's dad, because we're kind of at the end of the episode, someone explain to me how the hell he's going to go back into Access Monday and find his dad.
A version of his dad.
A version of his dad. So, because his dad was in Access Monday for a decade, which was a day or something, whatever.
No,
or a
they
year.
said that he was gone for the year after
year.
G-Day, which means that he was in there for a day or less.
Yeah. So he was in there for a day or less. But you don't just go into, they haven't explained it, but you don't just go into Access Monday and have access to the different time. You just show up, and then time moves faster on the outside while you're there. So Kintaro's dad did this a long time ago, and Kintaro's now going to enter Access Monday in the present. How is he going to somehow go back to find his dad from however many days in Access Monday, but years in the current time? They don't fucking explain that still.
Yeah,
But
apparently there's time travel as possible, according to Isabel, and I don't understand. Like, how are we time traveling? Like, are they expecting us to believe, because time is timey-wimey between these 2 points, that we can just drop into that there's the capability of just dropping into Access Monday whenever possible? I mean, how are we seeing Lee Shaw on the beach through a time rift? I don't know. That must have been decades ago. Like, I don't know.
It would have been.
It's like you can just drop into Access Monday whenever you want.
I'm more on board with the time dilation from one dimension to another, and wires get crossed. I will give them that and go, okay, cool, you got me there. But no, because they haven't explained the fact that we could go backwards in time. We know how we can go forwards in time very easily. They haven't done shit to say, yep, this is how we are able to manipulate the entry point through the rift and pick a point of Axis Monday so we could go back from 2018, we could go back to 2000 if we enable this piece of equipment here. Oh, that will fuck some shit up. Explain it.
But also,
there is no explanation.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's none.
There's
Well,
none.
the way, like, unless I miss it, because I'm still so confused at how anyone has this idea of the past, like going into the past of Axis Mundi, because all I remember is that brief monologue from Isabella saying, you know, what if, you know, you have a disease that cannot be cured right now, so you go into Axis Mundi for a few days and come out to find the cure. You know, it's been prepared. And it's like,
that
okay,
makes sense. Sure.
yeah, total sense. So I am confused about this past thing because only 2 people in the entire world are aware that you can access Axis Mundi, like a past version of it, and that is in the string theory episode. That's Suzuki and Lee Shaw are the only 2 people who were privy to that. So how did any, like, regardless of, yeah, Isabella aside, her dad has unlimited resources, but he also would not know this because no one is studying Axis Mundi. Like, Suzuki is the most educated person on this, and he accidentally did this quantum thing, and now everyone's fucking talking about it. Like it's a, you know, an ad on YouTube.
Yeah, it's a great point. I mean, the 3 of us, I'm gonna speak, I guess, for Corey, but we watch a lot of this kind of show, right? The sci-fi, or like these kind of, like, we're all pretty smart people and watch a lot of this kind of stuff, and we're confused, yet somehow, Zach, you're telling me there's people out there defending this season, and the 3 of us are pretty smart guys. Like, how are we this confused, and how do we not get it or see it? I don't understand.
I also don't know how real the people are that I'm seeing defend it, but it could be bots. It could be paid actors.
100%.
I think
That's
some
true.
of it is. But I'm sure there are some people that look at this and go, I loved it. And again, okay, great. If you like it, wonderful. I don't. I see a lot of the flaws with this season that, you know, make me sad from what I enjoyed in season 1. Not a perfect season, but then I got season 2 and went, there was a definitive drop off here. You know, we went from, you know, not that season 1 was Jurassic Park, but we went to Lost World and went, oh no, what has happened now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think there's some Apple shenanigans, like if you go to like Rotten Tomatoes with
Oh,
regards to the ratings and the critic reviews on Rotten Tomatoes versus, you know, it's astounding how positively reviewed this show is, and I'm just like, this just cannot be possible. There has to be a pay-for-play aspect or element to Apple. Yes, I'm putting them on blast. Apple, please don't come for us. But I don't see it. I don't get it. I feel like people that probably liked the show Lost probably like this show, and maybe they just like being confounded and confused all of the time by the show that they're watching. But it gives me Lost vibes, which I didn't care for. So
I think Lost did it. I mean, I was still frustrated by the end of Lost. I watched it all the way through, but I enjoyed Lost more than I did
season 2 of this.
Yeah, even by the end, the last season of Lost was getting pretty rough, but that was also like 7 seasons in of not answering a fucking question.
Yeah. I don't think they ever wanted it to go 7 seasons. I think ABC pushed them to stretch it out because, like, no, we need this. We want the money.
Money maker.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm reading.
Well, that was our
now.
little mini podcast on Lost.
Yeah,
everyone.
if you want to go check out Lost. I will say I opened up Facebook a little earlier, like today or yesterday, and someone I know who is very heavily involved with Godzilla, like does work for Toho to some degree, and is very well known for their connections with like with Godzilla. But they wrote, they're like, yeah, you know, it's not the greatest, but like overall it's pretty okay. And I'm just like,
Why are they
I
not
disagree
here?
with that.
Invite them here. Get them on. Call them. Can you have them here?
I would have to. I might have to. I am looking at
There's no
Rotten Tomatoes
monsters.
right now. Yeah. Well, and it's like there's no monsters, and it's so funny, like reading these, and they're talking about, you know, the acting is good or the character development or yada
No.
yada, and it's like literally
All of that's false. That's,
Yeah,
that's
all of-
lies.
It is all
That is
false.
lies.
It's like a character's greatest development is when they die, because then it's like, well, they're gone. I guess that was their arc. Like it ended in a squish. Yeah, it's man, while it has some issues with pacing, those issues are more than made up for with the story, visuals, and actors. And it's like, could you tell me what the story is?
Okay,
Can
so
you
they
tell
got
me what the actors are?
Okay.
Where are the actors? I
Are
can't
the
find
actors? Are the actors in the
find
room
one.
with us right now?
All right, so I'll agree. The visuals were good.
one. I don't have any complaints with how the show
No,
looks.
visuals
I will never
overall
say that
look-
I think it
look
looks
good.
great.
Yeah, they certainly. I think that is the highlight of the series is the presentation, that they were dealing with more of a professional movie style budget, that they could pour a lot of money into it, and they saved most of it for the final episode for kaiju fighting and having that larger than life feeling of, oh, they're right here above me and I'm trying to dodge around them, which you wouldn't be able to. You would have been murdered, but it is. You usually don't get to be that close to kaiju fighting in the Toho films. Occasionally they've done that, but it's not something that they do in every movie. Usually we're far away watching the monsters fight, not from ground level going, holy shit, there's a tentacle.
So, I guess. I will say another really big complaint. They use the word rift way too fucking much in this episode.
Rift.
When the show started, I think Kurt Russell said the word rift 3 times in about 20 seconds, and I was like, absolutely not. We have got to stop this right now. They said
That's
it
a lot of coulds.
Yeah, that's a lot of coulds.
It's a lot of couldas.
A lot of riffs. Yeah, I hate that every rift is now a quantum rift. Yeah, and we get Rodan. Cool, I guess. Maybe season 3 we'll get to see, because if you remember in King of the Monsters, there's like a giant container. And somehow a lot of people are still kind of unaware that kaiju exist. And like, Rodan's just kind of there chilling. And like,
He's there,
not leave the
island
island.
fire god, just hanging out. Which
Yeah,
I-
we'll probably find out more.
Was Rodan in King of the Monsters?
yes,
Yeah,
yes, he is.
How do I not remember that? Because Mothra was there, yes.
Yes,
Mothra.
King Ghidorah,
Yep.
Yeah.
Ghidorah, however you want to pronounce it. I
But
don't remember
Rodan, he comes
at
out
all.
of the volcano because Rodan is Mothra's foil.
Yes.
So, like, while Godzilla's fighting King Ghidorah, Rodan's kind of like being a bitch and annoying him, and Mothra fights Rodan to.
I'll have to rewatch it.
Yeah.
Which goes against the cave painting that everyone saw of, the original Ghidorah film of Godzilla, Mothra, and Rodan all fighting Ghidorah, and then they change and go, oh, well, Rodan didn't like getting his ass kicked, so he just went with
He
Ghidorah
joined
now.
the strong guy.
Yeah, even though they teamed up and beat him however long ago, according to the cave paintings. But that's another movie for another episode.
Yeah. Well, if the end of this episode has given us any hopes, it's that we will get a lot more Kentaro and Isabella who, if you didn't know, is the daughter of the guy from Apex and King of the Monsters, or in God, I don't even remember which one it is. Godzilla vs Kong.
Yeah.
The very important character. So she gets to use her kung fu once in the entire season, and it's just this episode.
If they want to build her up to have her be like kind of more of a questionable threat, they need to make her far more confident. Like she's like somebody who's, and maybe it's by design, I don't know, but I don't feel like, oh, we're going to be threatened by Isabel, because
she's not a commanding presence.
No,
by
she's
any
got
stretch.
money, and she hired people, and that's about it.
Yeah, she actually feels petulant to me as a person. Like there's like it's real her. I don't know if it's the actress or if it's what they've directed her to be, but like it does not work for me. That character is just like, this character is lame, and it would be more. She'd be more threatening if she didn't play the license plate game. But
well, I think it's like characters are built up by those around them. So like honestly, when Monarch walks in with guns, her character could have been improved if every person in that room was like, oh, they went over there, like literally just down that hall, because none of them have any, like, she doesn't have any guns. You know, like she doesn't have a whole lot of anything, and it just seems like it would have been better if the people in that office had reacted kind of similarly to the people in the Jeep, where they're like, just fucking take it. Like, I don't care. You know, if they were like, oh, Isabella, that way, right there, like, run, you'll catch her. You know, she knows kung fu. Don't fall for her, you know, sad act or whatever.
Use a stun baton.
But
I do also like, I guess, something I don't hate about episode 10, although May still drives me crazy because she's part of this, is I love this, like, you're the Ghostbusters now. You're like Venkman at the beginning of Ghostbusters, Venkman and Ray, where it's like you guys are like in the basement doing your thing.
By the
end, that could be a lot. That could actually be a lot of fun. That you guys are now this ragtag Scooby group in the basement of this place, hiding out.
Just kind of what we
that would be more
wanted.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of, well, it also, but it feels like it's, I mean, obviously season 3 doesn't exist, but this feels like it's going backwards, where in season 2 they get control of a high-powered, like, military class vessel and don't do anything with it, and, you know, except push it to 110%. And then at the end of it, they get an office.
Yeah. They're kind of ramping it down a little bit, because it's kind of, some shows get that, get into that problem. Like, I don't know, if you ever watched Scandal, I don't know if you ever did or not, any of you did, but like, it was like every single week it was just like up and up and up and up, like the stakes were just bigger, and
higher,
it was a huge,
higher,
always a huge cliffhanger at the end. Like, it was just more and more and more, to the point where you have no place else to go. They do kind of need to break it down, and I'm hopeful that maybe that could open up the door for some interesting storytelling, because you don't have the resources. You're not just out on these big ships that are getting eaten by the kaiju, and, you know, the son of a bitch made it, that sort of thing. But like, it's just like there's too much. It's like there's always just the next step more. So maybe, to your point, like it feels like we're taking a step backwards, which we need to do anyway to find Kentaro's dad, because somehow we can just choose points in time in Axis Mundi. So
we need to learn classes in session. We need to learn how that's done. Well, with the like obvious lead up for a potential season 3, and then the I don't think they finalized the adventures in, like, Russia, have they? The Red Monarch or whatever.
Like when it's coming out, or
did they confirm that it's actually happening?
It's upcoming. Going to focus on Shaw in '84. It according to what I'm reading, in March, Apple greenlit it.
Okay. So that one aside, so that means we could potentially have two separate series running, like a Legacy of Monsters season 3.
I don't have
well,
time.
I bet what they will do is like whatever the red Monarch is, and then do season 3 of this. So they'll like go back in time, and then they'll sit in a room for like another year and just make up random shit and throw it against the wall and just film it, and get a season 3 that very much resembles season 2.
No. No. No.
It's like, just write an idea down, we'll film it, don't worry.
Well, I think season 3 could have some potential, but they have to change. And Red Monarch could have potential. I mean, they're saying that it's like a Cold War spy thriller where Shaw's going to be over in Russia. Okay. If he's undercover trying to figure out what the Russians are doing with kaiju, okay, maybe I'd like it. Season 3 of Monarch, we are about 2 years out of King of the Monster, when we see a bunch of Titans appear when Ghidorah assumes the role of king after Godzilla gets injured. So we've got a bunch of Titans that Monarch all of a sudden was watching as they all came out of the fucking ground. So we've got 2 years to build Monarch back to that and get tabs on all these Titans. So we could start going out there and finding all these guys again and documenting them and noting where they are. I want that Monster of the Week approach. So send my little ragtag Scooby-Doo people out and about. No, there's a fucking fire pterodactyl on top of this goddamn volcano. Noted. Okay. There's a giant woolly mammoth down there in the jungle. Shit. Okay. Great. And just keep tagging them and bagging them.
Giant spiders popping out of Arizona or Nevada,
They find another Muto. You could do that in season 3, and I will enjoy that much more than I did this season. And that's more of what I wanted from the originals back in the 50s.
Yeah.
We could only be so lucky. Like, I would like to say that I have hope, but I had hope that this would be taking it a little bit easier. I think it just went too crazy, and they didn't know, because like you said, they upped the stakes, but when they had the stakes, they didn't know what to do with them. I get the feeling that they were just told how this needs to end, and maybe a rough idea or two of how. I feel like 1 or 2, maybe 3 sentences were provided, and they just had to write around that. Just film around that.
It also didn't help that the teaser trailers that they presented sold us a completely different story.
That's true.
Their teasers was like, this thing is bigger, and oh my god, we're gonna need Kong and Godzilla, and you could tell it was all edited together. But they were building this as a massive Titan is going to be super big, and Godzilla can't handle it, and Kong couldn't handle it, so we need both to handle it, and neither one of them do. In any capacity.
Yeah, like it escapes. I mean, Godzilla, I guess, was kind of pushing it away, but like Godzilla doesn't take it out, and it kind of whoops wholesale ass on Kong. Like, it's, it doesn't take him out entirely, but, like, Kong didn't really do much. It's got 8 arms. Like, what is he gonna do?
Yeah.
So
it's a woman protecting her child.
I know, exactly.
Stronger than any technology.
The instincts, the intuition.
The intuition of a woman.
With
hell hath no fury.
Tentacles.
Yeah. Like a betentacled woman, betentacled woman's wrath. But yeah, I don't feel like we need to talk too much about where we expect season 3 to go, because I think we just want exactly what we said from season 2. Just go listen to the rehash episode before we recorded for episode 1. Yeah. But yeah, any final thoughts from any of you? No.
I like seeing Rodan. I guess it was
Yeah,
neat.
I did too, actually.
I like. It was great. Okay, cool. Do more with that.
As much as I dislike this show, I'm still going to watch season 3. You cannot make me not watch this show. So,
Yeah.
With Kurt Russell in the lead, it's going to be Escape from Thailand or wherever he's at.
yeah, I'm in the abusive relationship where I expect them to show me a Titan, and then they never do.
Yeah, thank you so much. This has been a fun season of recording. The recording has been fun. That part's been great.
I'm glad you guys are in the same spot that I was at the end of season 1, because I was coming into this whole thing with you guys being the naysayer and being like, this is crap. But I'm glad you're with me now.
It only took about 5 episodes, but yeah, we got there. Well, speaking of getting there, Bob, where can people get your content?
I am part of a podcast, Great Pop Culture Debate, so please check us out. We have a lot of great episodes on any podcast platform, including YouTube. We do have a Best Kaiju episode, which featured Zach, if you like Kaiju content, but our season 13 is currently going. We have Best 80s Music Video this week. I believe Best Sondheim Musical is next week. And we have some other good ones coming up this season as well. Best Looney Tunes character, a couple other great episodes still in the can, to come out this season. So greatpopculturedebate.com, gpcd.bsky.social for our Blue Sky socials, so find us there.
Nice. And Zach, when you're not busy debating pop culture, where can we find you?
I'm still on the socials under Zach Deuce, and then every week I'm harassing people through the Neatcast, and eventually more movies coming out with Podcasters Assemble. Go to probablywork.com for all those details. Terminator 2 Judgment Day will be dropping soon, and also I will have a debrief episode about Invincible Season 4 with Eric and Chris from Comic Zombie. So that'll be coming out probably in the next week or so, whenever I get off my ass to edit it.
Yeah, so
Great.
Terminator, that does mean if you want to submit to the Terminator podcast, you now must start with 3 and beyond, because 2 will be up hopefully pretty soon. I think Eric said he's almost done with it.
It's down to the final edit.
Yeah, so that's always a good time. We always love hearing people's opinions, and I've only ever seen T3 and Beyond once a piece.
Same.
Well, except for now, I've seen T3 a second time because I watched it for Podcasters Assemble. But yeah, it's like I cannot wait to just re-experience this and just be like, what the fuck, you know?
T3 was my first Terminator movie. I had never seen anything, and T3 was my entry into the franchise in the theater.
That that's not the worst one to start with.
That's probably that is true. You're correct. Yeah.
It was a lot more fun than I expect. I want to say it's really like the end of it is where I was like, okay, y'all are clearly just rushing. You need to be done with this film.
Yeah.
Because I enjoyed it a lot more than I expected. It's very dumb, but it works. And it's just own little cute way. But for more on that, you will have to wait till next month next month or maybe the month after to listen
Probably
to
June, something like that.
June-ish. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, as always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or want to provide your own opinions, you can email me, twinbypodcast@gmail.com. All of my socials are twinbypodcast. And also go listen to the Neatcast. They had the AAO podcast boys on the most recent episode and the episode before that. Well, separate boys. same podcast. Two boys, one podcast. And if you pay attention, if you pay attention to the Neatcast, you might find some other super special guests popping up in the extremely near future from when this episode is released. Don't know what that's about, so, just keep your eyes peeled. But as always, really push it to the limit and then maybe like 5% beyond, or 10, or just pick a number, put it on top of 1% and just push that hard. But yeah, thanks again for listening. We are out. Bye.